Hello engineers and welcome back to the DevSecOps series. So in our previous video, we have learnt about the different things related to threat modeling. What is it? What are the different concepts around it? Okay. What first steps or the key components do we have to, think about when we talk about threat modeling? So this is the second part of the same series, and now we will discuss about what are the different common methodologies or frameworks that we can see in threat modeling. So this would be a bit technical discussion wherein we will learn about what these frameworks could help you and what things you need to do in order to adopt these frameworks. And then we will also see what are the different tools that are available in the market that you can use for doing this particular kind of thing, which is called as threat modeling. So let's quickly um, go to the slides that we have. Great. So now we will learn about what are the different common methods that we have over here, or the frameworks that we can see. Okay. So first is stride. Okay, you have to like, let's say if you think about the interview aspect, okay, you need to put this few methodologies in front of the interviewer so that you could make him understand that the concept of threat modeling, and the framework that you can adopt. Okay, so this video is really important from the perspective of interview, okay, on the topic of threat modeling. You have to know these things, otherwise the interviewer will think, okay, you do not know the very first and the basic thing about threat modeling. How are you going to become a DevSecOps engineer? So that's how it is. And also one more thing, I would like to remind you to watch this particular video regarding CVE, CVSS, okay, EPSS, and what is CWE. This is really very important in your journey, okay, DevSecOps journey. You need to know this by heart. Okay, so enough of this other video. You will see the importance when you will learn this thing and when we move ahead in this series. As you know, all of the tools that we see, the security tools, take benefit of this concept, which is CVE, CWE, CVSS, and EPSS. So first is Stride, another one is Pasta, another one is Dread, Try, and then Octave. So what are these different things? So all of these are acronyms. Okay, they are acronyms, acronyms, and each of this particular letter in this acronym give us a brief perspective or an in-depth perspective, let's say, about what things we could uh, use to do in threat modeling. So let's first see what is stride. So as I mentioned, STRIDE is a particular acronym for this particular thing. Okay, it includes spoofing, tampering, repudiation, information disclosure, denial of service, and elevation of privileges. Okay, now this STRIDE is a threat modeling methodology used to identify potential vulnerabilities and threats in software systems. Okay, so there are this kind of attacks that could be possible. Okay, this type of threats. Okay, you have to identify potential vulnerable applications where spoofing can be done, okay, which can be cloned, where tampering could be done. Tampering, we will see what it does and what is affected, or what it violates. Okay, in our next slides. Okay, what is repudiation? These are the things that you need to learn about. Weaknesses in your application. Where are these kind of weaknesses arising? Where are these vulnerabilities present in my application? Okay, some, if someone can disclose some of sensitive information that I have using certain keywords or some scripts or SQL injections. Okay, so that is what you have to look into your application or your entire system. Or if there is a network, if someone is unable to create a denial of service attack or elevation of privilege could be done, okay, for any user. So these are the things you need to look for. So stride, what are the different type of threats, as I mentioned earlier as well. What does it violates? Okay, what was violated and how was it violated? Okay, that is one example that we give for each segment. So for spoofing, it violates authentication of your application. Okay, So like someone impersonating something or someone known or trusted. Okay, let's say if someone came and said like, if you are my friend but an online friend, and if someone comes to meet you in person and then says he is Manthan, so now what is he doing? He is spoofing my identity. Okay, he's impersonating me. And now if you give him some cash in the name of like, I gave cash to Manthan, okay, I gave some money, amount of money to him, and now he will pay me back. But in case you gave it to someone who was impersonating me, who was not me, but he said that he was me. Okay, he impersonated me, he spoofed you. Okay, that is what we would say, he spoofed you. So this is what like a kind of threat we have. Okay, so you need to see in terms of your software how this spoofing is or can be done in your entire system. The next is tampering. Okay, tampering deals with integrity of the application. Okay, someone modified the data on your disk or memory or network, etc. Let's say you had entered your details like your email and your password, and you filled in few information regarding your documents in the like application. Now, are they safe with me? Okay, can someone modify them and use it in a different manner? Okay, so can someone steal them? That is also one form of threat that we have in information disclosure. Okay, can someone steal my data from your application? Okay, providing information to someone who is not authorized. Okay, so that deals with confidentiality, okay, and integrity. Now if someone can steal it, that is the issue of information disclosure or confidentiality. But if someone can change my data in that particular system, that is the issue of integrity. So the data is not safe, or data is not, you can say, uh, integrated. It was not as I gave it to the software, it was changed. So let's say you ordered one uh, book from Amazon, let's say. Now in the database, it was first what you ordered, you ordered one book. But someone went into the um, you know uh, website and then changed it to 10 books. Okay, now what will happen? The integrity of data has been changed, and now you will be billed for these 10 different books. And suppose if they are delivered to 10 different addresses, and they had been received by the users, okay, by the malicious actors. Now what you will do? You will have to basically pay for these things, otherwise you will need to report it. So that is why tampering can be done, and the integrity can be compromised for certain applications. The next is repudiation. Okay, spoofing, tampering, repudiation. Okay, now what it violates is non-repudiation. What is this thing? Okay, let's see what it violates is claim not to be responsible for an action. Okay, I don't know if you had one kind of friend in your school or college in your previous days who would do some action. Let's say he stole something from someone's bag, but now he does not claim it that I stole it. Okay, he would say someone else stole it, I was not responsible for that. But now if teacher came in and she or he asks to show bags for the students, and it was accidentally found in his bag, now he will say, oh, I didn't do it, Raju. So that's what non-repudiation mean. Okay, someone denying the fact that he did something. Okay, that is repudiation. And what is non-repudiation? Non-repudiation is that if you install a camera in your classroom, okay, and you can see that he did this particular thing, which is clearly logged into our systems. Okay, so now no one who steals would be left out of our eyes. We can see you did this. Okay, and we have the proof. So that is what non-repudiation is. To it is to implement certain methods which would log the details of who did this. Okay, or who did this at what time, in what place, okay, from where it was done, to whom it was done. That is keeping a track record of the activities of the users, so that no one could say that I didn't do it. Okay, it was done by you itself. We have a clear record of that. So once you have a record of that, you are, safe on your end as an organization, that you can show it to them. Okay, it was not our fault, or it was not someone else's fault. It was you were the culprit to do it. Okay, so that is repudiation. Then next is information disclosure. Okay, as I said, someone could have this information disclosed to someone else, and that would be a big case in that front. Okay, your information is leaked, and now someone else could use it and impersonate you in that case. Okay, someone stole the data of your Aadhaar card. Now they can buy sims out of it. They can buy sim of different for different number, and they could commit some crime. And now police will ask, okay, who called this person lastly? And it was the number that was bought from your stolen Aadhaar card numbers. Okay, now who is the main focus as a culprit? The person who owns this particular sim card. So who is that? That is you. And how did you become a culprit? Because your data was stolen. Okay, so that is the breach of confidentiality. The next is denial of service. Okay, so denial of service is kind of a particular thing. Let's say there is one like house that you live into, okay, which you call your home. So someone stole the keys of your home, and then he ran away. So now what happens? You cannot enter your own home. That is the case. So that is a denial of service thing. Okay. Now, denying or obstructing access to resources required to provide services. So, this is one case. I will explain in depth about denial of service when we will learn about different kind of threat or attacks that are possible in this real world scenario. So, we will look into it later on. But for now, just know that something that you own or something that is meant to be for your customers is not being accessible to them. Let's say an example of the cash, the bank and the cash is of the owner, but now the customer comes to ask you for cash, but you say it is unavailable, someone stole it. So that is a denial of service. Or they say like, okay, I will not give it to you right now because I'm busy in doing something else. Okay, it's my lunch time. So that is a denial of service. Okay, that is the case. Next is elevation of privileges. Okay, so someone could elevate his or her privileges and accesses or the rights to do something which would hamper the authorization system of my application, and then allow access to someone without proper authorization. Okay, let's say I was a security guard in some bank, and then I accidentally happened to get the dress or the tag of the chief uh, operating officer of this particular bank. Okay, wore the dress, something kind of that, or I wore a cap and it was meant to be for that CEO of the organization. Now I get into the cash vault, and then I can access this particular thing. Okay, so that is what the elevation of privileges by accidental measures, or someone kind of gave it to himself. So elevation of privileges can be done. So that is what about stride. Next is dread. What is dread? Dread is a methodology used to assess, analyze, and find the probability of risk by rating the threats. Okay, so in dread, what we can see is a different kind of things that could possibly done on your application. Okay, so find the probability of risk. Okay, how risky my particular system is. Okay, that is how I would see in this particular framework, that it helps out me in deciding how risky is this particular threat or vulnerability. So when we look at a vulnerability, we need to ask ourselves, okay, what damage it can do to me. Okay, what can be the impact of this attack. Okay, if it was done for this vulnerability. Okay, can it be reproduced? Okay, how easily it is an attack can be reproduced on this kind of vulnerability. Okay, sorry, I missed it. You might have to see it again. Okay, so how easily it is reproduced. Okay, how easily a vulnerability is exploited. Okay, so exploitability of that particular vulnerability, that is what we have to see. Okay, how easy it is to launch attack on it. So that is one thing. Then how many users would be affected if this attack was real. Okay, it was possible. So that is what we will also have to see, how many users are impacted. And then, is this particular vulnerability discoverable? Okay, how easily can someone could find this vulnerability, and now how can they attack? Okay, let's say someone found the vulnerability but they are not able to exploit it, so that is not dangerous for us, but still the vulnerability is discoverable. Now we will have to place some controls or measures to make it non-discoverable. So that is what it says. Now even someone can discover it and someone can exploit that vulnerability, but actually no users were affected due to it, because it was just a small change on the UI. So we'll also have to see what are the impact of this particular exploitations. And now once it is exploited, how often it could be exploited. Okay, how many times it could be reproduced, and what are the damage that is caused. So these are the different parameters that you kind of have to think about when you talk, and when you analyze, or say that this particular type of vulnerability is very very critical. Okay, why it is critical? Because it can damage you more. Okay, it can be reproduced again and again, it can exploit easily. Okay, it can have a long list of affected users, and it can be discoverable very easily. So that is the framework that you can use to assess and analyze this particular potential risk that you have. You can rate them and categorize them in critical, low, medium, or uh, high vulnerabilities kind of thing. So this particular framework helps you in defining it. Okay, so this is what you have to see. Okay, these are the parameters. So uh, so I hope you got to learn about stride and dread right now. Okay, now we will look about some other methodologies in our next video, because this video would be long and I wanted to keep it short so that I could explain you in great detail about all these methodologies. Otherwise I would just read through the document, and then it would not be understandable for you guys as such. So I hope this will be a multi-part video, and you will get to see it in small chunks. So that's it for this particular video about the part second of threat modeling. Now we will learn about the next you know methodologies in the another video, and the tools okay with it. So thanks for watching up to this mark, and if you like this particular video, then please give press the like button and share it and subscribe the channel and the playlist as well, and turn on the bell notification for further updates. That's it for this video. Let's see you in another one.